Impossible Battle 15, and this one is special. This is a really extreme scenario. So I fought a battle a few episodes ago where I had one unit of tersos and I underutilised them, but they were always there and I was always aware of their potency, and this is a good chance to showcase that in spectacular fashion, in full force to its fullest extent, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units of tersos. So these guys are beasts, and they also have exceptional accuracy, so the capacity for destruction that each of these units possesses is very high. And we are dealing with 11,000. I can't remember the last time I fought against 11,000. That's only really possible on the highest unit scale and against Ikoike when they bring full stacks of this stuff. Fucking hell. They could have more. Like, they could have a Shigaru instead of light cavalry. They could have more units in this stack here. But as it stands, this is the biggest I've seen in a long time. That's what she said. Oh man, outnumbered more than 4 to 1. But we do have the troop quality advantage because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 units of upgraded attack Naginata Samurai. So these guys are bruisers, really resilient, and they also have experience and upgraded attack. So they are very capable units. And 1, 2, 3, 4 armoured Naginata Samurai. So these guys walk around in a suit of armour that has an armour value of 14. They just sponge arrows, and that armour helps in the melee as well. So this is a distinction that's worth acknowledging. Upgraded attack, upgraded armour. So these are like 2 different units. And then we have 1 unit of Katana Samurai upgraded attack, and a unit of Bow Samurai. And last but not least, in addition to the general of course, we also have a unit of fire rockets. Oh man. Oh man. So this is... I'm being really well pandered to and catered to here with this army. This comes to me from New Exploder, long time viewer of the channel, since the early days when I started with Total War, and he has given me something that I can indulge in here. I suspect that he could win this if he just stuck to the fundamentals of good matchlock deployment and supporting them well. But he's handing it over to me, so I'm going to try and pull off something special for him, because he's given me something special here, because he has sent me a note. It reads, "To our Scottish foreign advisors, since you Europeans came upon our shores, we have embraced the political and economic virtues of which you have blessed onto our island. This, along with the Almighty Lord, has enriched our lands and made our food stocks abundant and our hearts emboldened. However, not all Japanese see this way, and since writing to you, we need your support. Our boys, children of God, have been put up against savages claiming that the gluttonous Buddha bears fruit philosophical traditions stronger than ours, and that God is but a sham. It is in the face of adversity that we look to you for guidance on the battlefield, so that God may prevail and that we may civilise all the heathens located on the land. We will provide you with a financial compensation package upon hearing of your success. God bless you, good sir, and DEUS VULT." Signed, Ōtomo Chikashige. In brackets, sent posthumously. Alright, so I need to do this justice. We're dealing with... Should I even belabour the specifics? They'll be here forever. 4 stacks of Ikoike, a massive horde, the likes of which I cannot even recall. Holy fuck. So this is a siege defence. We have a big map, wide open. We have little wall space that we have to make the most of. Let's see how it goes.
者どもご苦労じゃ。お家の心情に従い愚かな真似はせず、あのバカどもの地獄行きを手助けしてやれば、今日はきっと良い日になる。一歩たりとも後退せんぞ。わしは最後まで戦う。お主らもきっと同じ考えであろう。あのたわけどもには戦う前からうんざりだ。たわけにはいつもへきへきするが、途方もない思い上がりには施す手がないわい。ここは実にすごいよのう。大屋島広しといえど、これにかなう城はないじゃろう。我が軍の力が加わらば、その凄さが増すというものじゃ。進め。我が加盟は永遠に残る。旗印を
Oh man,
上げよ。
Terso's already manning the walls. They know what's coming. They know what to do. Alright, so the first thing to do is to distinguish all of these units. We're going to have the Katana Samurai grouped with the high attack Naginata Samurai, and they're going to be used to close the distance and catch units on the melee. I'm going to try and have as much relevant wall section manned as possible, and in this case it's going to be 3 units of Tersos, front, left and right. Front being where the reinforcements arrive from and where all my units are there. So we're going to have 3 on the walls, 5 on foot outside the fort, and I'm going to do my best to have the on foot Tersos overlap with the walled Tersos, and then I'm going to try and support them using an acknowledgement of the distinction between defensive Naginatas and offensive Naginatas. And I'm trying to position these guys at the top of the slope here. I'm trying to make the most of everything. Terrain, unit variety, combined arms, everything that I've got at my disposal I'm trying to use here. And I've also got the fire rockets and the bow samurai as support, and they both have upgraded accuracy. We're going to have 2 groups come in from the left side there, and then also the right side there where I've positioned. So what I want to do is defeat both of those groups simultaneously, efficiently, taking as few losses as possible, because that's when everything can go wrong in those first fights. And then combine at the front to position to overwhelm the reinforcements. Because we're going to have about 7,000 or 8,000 guys coming in from the south side of the map. And I've got 5 Tersos here, so I'm going to have 2 units to the left, 2 to the right there, and 1 at the front. And that should give us good opportunities to exert our firepower with efficiency and devastating fashion. And the fire rockets I'm going to be using to try and break clusters. So they're a really good support unit. In fact, sometimes it really helps a lot to have a unit of fire rockets just fire a devastating salvo, and it is fucking devastating. Fire a devastating salvo into a cluster for really good collateral damage on possibly even overlapped units. So I'm going for that first on the left side there. Also, I'm trying to have these armoured Naginatas, these tanks, be spaced and in square formations, so they always give a shot opportunity to the Tersos they're protecting, because all they're really there for is to block charges so the Tersos get their shot, their volley off, and also to absorb arrows, because we're going to be taking aggro from archers. It's inevitable, and to the extent that that's inevitable, it will happen to the tanks and not the offensive infantry or the Tersos. At all costs, the Tersos must be protected from arrows from archers. And I'm sending the general out there to bait some units in early, because I want to do some damage as soon as possible. And I fucking forgot to put them on the walls there, god damn it, but it's not that important. But yeah, that was a mistake. There's a lot to manage here. This is a very complex fight, and I relied heavily on intuition here to have everything go well, and then I also had some improvisation. So this is extremely optimized. Boom. And that's half the unit gone, because they have 90 accuracy, something like 90 accuracy, and that's the unit gone. And the fire rockets, I told them to shoot, but they fucking are not shooting. Fire rockets need a proper parabolic line of sight. Here we go. And you don't get the satisfying explosion effect because the water muffled it. And on this side, they're coming a bit later, but that's okay. And we have a unit coming in the front there. So they're sending units to probe. This is like fucking the battle at Rorke's Drift. This is Zulu tactics here. They're sending units out ahead and they're getting repelled by disciplined, well-positioned, well-protected rifle fire. And they're coming at us in these waves. It's immense. And I'm trying to now pull back my tanks and send the bruisers through to start tearing them up in the melee. We protected the tanks and we sent the bruisers straight into the melee to do their damage against vastly inferior troops without taking any aggro from ranged. Perfect. And something similar is hopefully going to happen on this flank. We've got units wavering there because of the withering fucking matchlock overlapping fields of fire, devastating crossfire. And I'm just letting that play out on that front. And I'm trying to get the support going here. So we've got the melee happening, that's good. And I'm trying to use the fire rockets to shoot that general. And then I've also got the bows at the back to worry about. I want to stop the bows from firing at anything. If they're going to fire at anything, I would have it be the tanks. Oh, and then we're getting shot by... Oh man, the tersos are taking damage there. It's really bad. And look at that, it's so much to deal with. We're kind of getting overwhelmed, but there's units routing and shattering all over the place. And on this front it looks good, because everything is about shatter. And we've taken very few casualties, very well managed there. Just having everything support each other, that was really satisfying. And I'm already pulling over to the front, because I'm anticipating the massive horde arriving soon. And then I'm trying to push through with the melee, the bruisers. So when you've got vastly superior melee units, you want to be chaining from unit to unit, especially if they have high charge bonus. So that's what I was trying to do over there. And I've got these units that are stranded, cut off, they need support. That's when things go wrong, when units get cut off and then they start to have force multipliers against them. So they're stuck in a melee and they have fire arrows raining on top of them. You want to protect your units and isolate enemy units. You don't want your units to be isolated, facing multiple threats. But I'm doing well here. We're just about holding it together. We're getting into these good fights that we want to take because we're against bows. So I've got my superior infantry tracking down their bows, closing the distance, and I'm bringing my matchlocks forward and putting them on slopes. So I'm already forming up here to anticipate the massive horde. I need to get these matchlocks spread out in lines, staggered, so they can fire at the same target and have their firepower be multiplied, synergized. And it's going well here because I don't want to just have tersos on their own. I want to have tanky units at the front to take aggro from archers and also close the distance with them to take them out. It's not a good idea to try and close the distance with matchlocks against bows, so I need to have supporting units here for that. And I've got matchlocks in position already at the front, and we're mopping up on the left, presumably. And here they come, the first of the horde. We did it in time. It was really important that we managed to defeat these initial armies so we could form up at the front and catch these guys before they cross the river, the shallows. That's the thing. We need to get the matchlocks on slopes with overlapping fields of fire, with infantry support, with the shallows slowing the enemy down, and then I need to start actually micromanaging. And what I'm doing there is trying to have some units run all the way around to intercept them when we presumably win. So that's what I'm doing there. I'm assuming that we're going to win this fight at the front here, and I'm getting units ready to cut them off and catch them to run them down, because that is when the real killing happens. And look at this, we've already got 3 units here on the front, and they have support. So I've got 108 men, 5 XP on that unit of tanks with 14 armour. So they've been through a lot already, and they still have 2/3 strength, and they're at 5 XP. And they've got 5 XP from slicing up shitty Ashigaru. So they're doing really well. And we've caught them. And now it is a killing floor. And I need to start taking my guys off the walls. And here we go, fire rockets. Oh my god. Oh, just watching that again is so good. Just wrecked that unit, just annihilated them. How do they hope to get into melee after they've been pummeled with upgraded accuracy fire rockets right along the length of the unit perfectly? And look at that, you can just see the matchlock flashes just travelling up the ranks there. So satisfying. And I need to watch out for the bows to the left here, because they're coming in from multiple positions. I've got them coming in from directly straight on here at the front, and then there's also another army coming in from off screen to the right. Oh, oh, oh! Fuck, friendly fire. Not much friendly fire. And maybe the armour helped, I doubt it. It should. Fucking fire rocket shrapnel should not be getting through 14 armour. And now I realise that I need to bring my tersos down to support, because we've got them. Oh man, yeah, fire rockets against cavalry are really devastating. If you can get an accurate volley of fire rockets into a static or constant movement vectored unit of cavalry, it will destroy it, and I didn't get many chances. And that's it. The sheer firepower and the fact that we conserved so much of our strength, it was just too much. They just chain routed and... oh man. That's a nice shot. Oh man. Shogun 2 is really nice. Look at that. Look at the smoke. Still glowing. Still has an afterglow. Oh my god. I could have kept firing. We've still got most of our ammo. Our tanks are still intact. I could have pulled back a couple of the units that were taking heavy losses, like that 57 men Naginata. Oh, and here it is. This is what I was anticipating. I knew this would happen. They're trying to run out the map, and there's like 3,000 or 4,000 guys trying to run out the map. Maybe even more than that. And I'm surprised the river isn't red. Maybe that's why they all decided to run. Maybe the river is red and they've noticed it and they realised what was going on. When your superiors are telling you to charge and you proceed to do so and notice the river running red with the blood of your fallen comrades, I think you would probably decide, fuck this, I'm out here. Just like all these guys have done. So maybe that's what happened. And look at that, that's... when there's so many guys packed in a small space, they just blob into an actual blob. Like, they can't move, the blob itself gets stuck. They accumulate at the point faster than they can disperse, and they're just there for the taking. It's just about getting units there, and oh man. Yeah, I'm just mopping up at this point, because I don't want to hand back a save where I've only killed like 10% of the enemy army, which I was in danger of doing, but yeah, I think I've caught enough of them here. But this can take a while. There's so many. Holy shit, they can actually blob on your units. I think that's happening there. My guys are body blocking them as they run away, and they're accumulating. Holy crap, it's like looking at insects or bees or something. Oh man, it's so weird. That's what it reminds me of, just seeing them building up like that. And now I'm even getting the tersos in position because they can afford to do so. We have enough time to do that. But I don't think this is very effective. And also I'm trying to stop them from shooting each other. And I'm also trying to stop them from shooting the general. So I'm already thinking of sending the general way down there. And yeah, we've done it. That's the last of them. Fucking hell. How many thousands of guys died just past that bridge? Jesus. And that's it. That should be it. Are we gonna fire, or the tersos gonna shoot? Oh man, yeah, look, I've even got tersos coming down here. And once again, I'm trying to stop them from shooting each other. And they are getting kills, but it's only like 10 or 20 guys. Of the 10,000. It's not worth it. Close victory? What the fuck is that? What the hell? We took how many losses? 700 to kill how many? 8,000? Yeah, we lost, oh my god. We lost 700 to kill 8,400, so that's a KD of 12. And the Naganatas actually came out on top with the kill tallies, because they were stuck in that choke, scything them down as they blobbed to try and run away. Fire rockets killed 240 guys. And there were Tersos there that had 80 kills. God damn. Underutilized Tersos again. Yeah, Tersos are so potent, it's hard to really make the most of them, that's how good they are. And Nuke made a legendary Bujutsu skill at Buzen. What the hell? So he's trying to synergize legendary cavalry, so cavalry heroes with upgraded accuracy, that's interesting. But the Ōtomo are a range faction, so yeah. Alright, well that was at Kawachi, the shittest province on the map, right beside one of the best on the map, and definitely the capital of the whole country, Japan, Kyoto, which is weird. Shittest right beside the best. And that's it. Yep. Thanks Nuke for the save, and see you in the next one. If you appreciate the videos enough to want to support me, I have a Patreon page. Special thanks to Matteo Olivetti, Nerdington, The Roadie 451, Halcyon, William Balangari, and Robert Sparks.